Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Foley. Along with me, we have Beverly Domengeaux, who is the Executive Director with St. Mary Council on Aging. And I'm happy to be here because we're in a new year, and we're in 2022. We're going to talk about where you've been, where you are, and where you're going.
That's right.
Sounds good, right?
And that's what a senior can tell you.
That's right. You already know. Exactly. This is everything that you already know. I tell folks all the time, I'm not going to ask you anything you don't know. So you definitely know this. Well, let's stick to 2021. Let's go that far back. Kind of give me a reflection. Sum that up to me.
Well, starting with March 2020 and going through 21, yes, we did have to change the way we did business. But I have to say this, the seniors were very, very cooperative, and they did what we asked them to do, and everybody stayed safe. Community people were very good to us as far as needs that we might have. They did shopping for the seniors. You know, they kept, everybody worked as a group. And I had to say, even though it was a bad year in a way, it was a good year because it made us all stop and think about the good life that we have.
Yeah. Okay. And something you said that the public pretty much put their money where their mouth is.
Right.
So you were afforded heaters, fans all throughout last year.
Food. I mean, it just, whatever I asked for, lap covers, hygiene items, whatever I'd put out that we needed. I mean, we were bombarded with it, okay, which was very good. But the big thing is the personal, okay, a phone call, okay. Now, one of our churches packed some Christmas bags, and I asked them, I said, put a little note in it. Yeah. And that made the seniors feel so special that they had someone that packed a bag for them and put a card in it.
Made it especially for them.
Yes.
Not just that it's just a bag that you did because this is your community project.
No.
But
no,
you
it
made
was
it special.
done by the individual.
Yeah.
And they didn't know who was going to get it. And then they had that little personal touch.
I love it. So with that said, what is your focus for 22?
2022, we're going to re-educate, okay? There is a science called aging. And I don't think that we're talking enough about what we want when we get old. Now, of course, I am old. And I still think that I can do anything that I did when I was 40, okay? But I'm finding out I can't. And my son and I had this discussion the other night about when I get to where I need a little help, what do I want? And where do I want to be buried, you know?
You're right about that. You need to have those conversations, and you're never too young, too old to have those conversations. You're speaking to the choir. I think everybody needs to do that.
And I think that is something that would help families to get back together if they were a little bit more open about how they're feeling about themselves, okay? Everybody's busy, but still, mom and daddy, grandma and grandpa, okay, they've still got a lot to give.
Yeah.
And I think the young people need to learn about dealing with aging people.
So with that said, and we talked about this prior to our interview, because it's something that touched me. Every time you come, I'm always saying, well, what can I do? Yeah. What can I do? So for folks who are sitting here at home and watching, well, you got the heaters, you got the blankets, you got all that. What can I do?
The personal touch. Everybody has something to give. There's a lot of people that are great sewers, they're great cookers, they're great storytellers, they're great everything. Well, share that. Come to my sites and share it with the seniors. They eat it up, okay? Just, you know, history is history, and they love it, and they'll all pitch in and everything. But everybody has something to give, and I don't like to call it volunteering because I don't think that's the right word. I think it's giving, okay? I've lived a good life, you've lived a good life, but I think we can take from our life and we can make somebody else's better.
Well, I will say the students at Berwick High School got it right.
Yeah.
They said, well, we'll take our knowledge and we'll mesh it with your knowledge.
Yeah.
So the younger generation can tell them all about tech and apps, and the older generation talks about World War II.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we'll talk a little bit more about what it is they can do and where your sites are located, because believe it or not, folks don't know where they are. So come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danica Foley. Along with me, we have the Executive Director with St. Mary Council on Aging, Beverly Domengeaux. And we started talking about what can I do. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to say right now what I'm doing, but I am actually doing something, because every time you're here, I think to myself, what can I do? We get up here, we talk about it all the time. We try to get the public motivated and moved to do so. And something you mentioned that a little 7-year-old did. Tell me, what is it that he did?
He offered to help me unload my grocery cart. And at first I said no. And he walked away and he was all slumped over. And then I said, now Beverly, he's trying, okay? So I called him back, and now it seems like every time I go shopping, I run into him and he loads my car for me. But it's the same thing with the seniors at our 3 sites, okay? They all have lived good lives, okay? Some of them better than others, but they always appreciate somebody bringing something to them, just like they're excited that you're gonna come talk to them, okay? It doesn't have to be a prepared program, okay? You can just drop in. I know there's a lot of ladies and gentlemen that do arts and crafts, do woodwork and everything. Okay, volunteer at one of our sites and come in and show us how to do something different. We tried something this year that we'd never tried before. We made all 3 sites, we had a competition, okay? And they had to make the Christmas ornaments and all of the decorations, and we did a tree at Wendell Williams.
Okay,
Okay,
yes.
all right. And it was all done by the seniors. And I had a committee, and we went around at night, and they picked out the winners at each site, and then we picked out the big winners. And it got to be pretty competitive.
Oh, I'm
okay?
sure.
But it was so cute to watch people. They'd look at our tree at Wendell Williams, and they'd say, oh, I remember her, you know, and then, oh, she goes to your site. Which site does she go to? So we would tell them, you know, which site. It's little things. It doesn't have to be anything big.
Let's talk about these sites, because they're all across the parish. So no matter what end of the parish you are likely close to one. There's one in Morgan City, Patterson, and Franklin. And I'll give you those numbers right now. So in Patterson, 985-395-4800. 395-4800. Now in Morgan City, 985-384-3324. Again, 384-3324. And in Franklin, 337-828-1210. Again, 337-828-1210. So folks are asking, you know, like, I never even knew. I mean, it's amazing that folks don't know where these senior sites are. So let's really quickly, if we can tell them about where they are located. The one in Morgan City is across the tracks, okay, near the
big church.
Sacred Heart Church, and it's actually right next to where you go if you early vote. If you do the early voting,
that's correct.
They're right next door.
Okay.
And then of course in Patterson,
it's next to the big church in
there we
Patterson.
go. Right next to another big church.
Yeah.
And it's really right there next to the parking lot.
Right. Okay.
And then of course in Franklin,
we're next to City Hall.
that's right, City Hall.
So we're easy to find, and we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 1, okay? And it's you have to, what was the old saying somebody used to say, some commercial, try it. You might like it, okay? People don't want to put themselves out sometime. And they're not putting yourself out. You're helping, okay? We've had romances start, okay? We had a...
And let me just say this. What age does it start for?
60.
That's, I'm just saying, I think at one time I used to, think 30 was old.
Yeah.
40 was old, 50 was old. 60, you still can lead a very vibrant life.
Yes, it can.
Council on Aging is not for, I don't know what we have in our minds that, when you get up a certain age.
We've been in existence for 50 years now. That's when the Older Americans Act started. And at that time, 60 was old.
Yeah, but now you can, I mean, we just
old.
had a gentleman pass away, Mr. Brooks, at 112.
112.
Betty White, 99.
99.
So
Yeah.
we'll take a short break. Come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. We have Beverly Domengeaux, the Executive Director with St. Mary Council on Aging. And we're over here, you got me feeling like, I don't know, giddy like a school child because y'all, if you do not sit and talk with someone of a certain age, you are missing out. And I've always loved this. I'm getting all kind of advice about marriage and I don't know where you were when I was dating. I mean, baby, y'all need to sit down and talk to Miss Beverly or someone like Miss Beverly because this is where you get the tea. This is the real tea, as the kids say, the real tea. But we can delve on that all day long. But let's talk a little bit more about where you are financially within the organization because I know you've had some highs and some lows.
We've had some highs and lows. But we have been very fortunate in we have established what I call sponsorships that have been very lucrative to us, okay, financially. We have had good fundraisers. People like our meals that we cook on Saturday, special meals. Our thrift store is doing real good. And I will use an example. We lost one of our clients 3 years ago tragically in an automobile accident. And every Christmas we get a very nice check from her family to make sure that the activities can continue. So it's donations, it's a business just like anything else, okay? But it's enjoyable, and they appreciate everything. And the merchants are always good to us. The churches are good to us. People are good to us. Sometimes we're kind of cranky sometimes, but, okay. Like one man called me up and he said, my wife had 4 slices of apples and I only had 3 in my dinner. And I said, well,
oh my,
share one. Right. And he said, okay, he bust out laughing and he hung up. So,
wow, the calls you receive. Now, Treasures Under the Oaks, tell us where you're located,
Okay, we're right next to, we're in the Old Corral Gym. It's on Iberia Street. We're right next to, we're 2 doors down from City Hall, right next to our senior center in Franklin. And we're open on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Okay. Now, this is another part where when I say, what can I do, folks can do this, and that meaning individually as well as an organization, agency, nonprofit. You can sponsor a senior.
Yes,
Adopt a senior. Tell us about that.
Adopt a senior. Okay, we have several different programs, and we usually do this in February because that's Valentine's Love Month. Are you okay? I send out notices, and you can sponsor a senior. You can either ask to know, but I have to get permission of the senior to make their identity because everything we do is confidential. We don't give out names that people that belong to our organization. So we have different programs to offer, and some people like they give monthly and they sponsor someone, and that means that person, we don't charge fees. We do ask for a donation from our clients. and a lot of them don't have it. So this way, it eases their mind that somebody cares enough about them that they're paying to make sure that they get. They're not going to be denied the meal or homemaker services or even come to the senior center.
Yeah.
I don't look at income. The only thing, and that's one thing I want the public to know, okay? Our only criteria is you got to be 60 years of age or over, and you got to ask for the services. I can't go out and solicit, okay? But I don't look at anything. Finances, race, religion, anything like that, just your age. That's all I look at.
All right. Well, sounds good. I believe we have one more segment left. It's been going by so quickly, but come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danica Foley. Along with me, we have Beverly Domengeaux, Executive Director with St. Mary Council on Aging. And I'm going to have to talk fast because, we get through this time and get out very, very quickly. On this show, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly is COVID and how it has impacted your agency. And we're still in it. Like it hasn't gone anywhere. Are you feeling the effects going into this new year?
No, not really, because we did our best to educate everybody. We followed all the CDC guidelines. We sanitized all our sites, and when we did open them back up in July, we sent out everybody, these are the rules, okay? And that includes the homebound that we take care of and the ones that come to our site. So everybody had the rules. They all abide by it. We don't go in, if they got homebound services, we don't go in unless they ask us or tell us to. We have a way, they have a table, and we put it just inside the door, the food, The only ones that go in are my homemakers, and they go in at the request of the client.
Okay.
Everybody is masked, everybody is gloved, everybody is sanitizing, I guess the biggest thing that we had the biggest laugh with the seniors said, why do they keep talking about washing your hands? Doesn't everybody know to wash your hands? And that started the big discussion with the seniors. Well, no, I see people, they don't wash their hands, and everything like that.
I can tell you some stuff, and I get to the point, if I'm in a public restroom, I want to tell folks, excuse me, come back. You forgot to wash your hands. Oh,
well, we were in New Orleans at a very nice restaurant, and my grandson was young at the time, and he had to go to the little boy's room, and when he came out, he was upset, and this very distinguished-looking gentleman walked past, and he says, that's the man, he didn't wash his hands after he was there. The man picked up our tab for the dinner. so some good came out of it. But the thing is, they have done well, okay? They have their groups, and when we have activities, and we have tried to branch out a little bit. And we went to the Brown House, took them on a tour of the Brown House. We took them to Wendell Williams Museum.
Test theater.
The silver screen, okay. We've started getting them out, but they stay within their groups, so they feel safe. That's the main thing. And we still mask, okay? We still temp when they come into one of my sites. We will temp. If you ride one of my vans, we will temp, okay? So it's just kind of, but you got to realize, like one man said last night at a meeting, he said, everybody's saying they don't want to take this vaccine because they don't know what's in it. And he rolled up his sleeve and he said, we didn't know what was in this, but they told us we had to have it to go to school. And we all sitting there, and we still have the marks too. So
I think I see it. My mom even has that same
she
mark.
does. She does. So it's the thing, and that's the thing that we've tried very, very hard. there's a lot of information that came out about the COVID and all this, and we tried to break it down into what they could understand.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of help from Homeland Security, a lot of help from the sheriffs and police departments. You know, they've helped me with the education about it.
I only have about 30 seconds, but I got to ask you this. You kind of started talking about it. Have there been many love connections or marriages to come out of?
Yes, we've had 2 marriages, okay? We've had some other love connections that I'd rather not talk about.
Hey, they get a little messy too.
But we had, you know, it's companionship.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of us in the seniors, we had spouses for quite a while.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Happy.